Already, state officials have found more than 50 of these devices just this year, and who knows how many haven't been found yet that are still here in the valley. Another senior scammed out of every cent to her name. Tonight, we know the Department of Homeland Security is considering a proposal to separate children from their mothers.
I got to be honest with you, this could be a stark reality that we are facing tonight with hundreds of thousands of ballots that might not be counted.
Right now, breaking news, and one of our viewers caught in the middle of it. Look at this car on fire right there in the middle of the Beeline Highway, and that is just the beginning. The father you're about to hear from for the very first time says he really needs us. The visibility has dropped significantly, as Jason Valentine has been reporting. He's out live in Maricopa right now, and Jason, honestly, kind of a night and day difference from about 5 minutes ago. Houses rattling, windows shaking, animals upset. Was it an earthquake? Was it a sonic boom? What happened last night? A mother who was 8 months pregnant was shot and killed in Phoenix. Now, miraculously, doctors were able to save her unborn baby, who will now grow up without a mother. Making money in your PJs, spending more time with your family. Oh, and forget sitting in traffic. All the perks of working from home. Oh, there he is, getting down on the ground right now. It appears that he is following the orders of police, and they are still being very careful here. Look at this video that I shot while waiting at a stoplight near Washington and Priest in Tempe. I saw a half dozen trees snap in half right in front of me. The wind gusts were so strong you can see it right there. That rain just blowing sideways. Well, tomorrow, another chance for you and the family to meet up with the world's most famous hot dog, as we see behind us, Steve.
Meet up?
No.
I got it.
Look, you're missing the picture.
I know.
It's you.
I wonder what my therapist has to say about that.
Me too.
The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Tomorrow is expected to be one of the busiest travel days of the year. So whether you're the one who's traveling or you're picking up somebody at the airport.
Hosting Thanksgiving obviously takes a lot of work, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it costs some money to make all that food.
Very expensive. So would you consider charging your guests? After all, you have to pay if you went to a restaurant. A majority said
No.
You are not a chef.
They're your guests.
Air 15 video live right now over the scene where you can see the suspect's truck flipped over. He was treated on the scene for about 30 minutes or so, and then we just learned that apparently he was also fighting the medics who were trying to put him into the ambulance. And then once you have some experience under your belt, you can also sign up to be a pot fesser. How is she doing this? What is her MO?
And something stinks in Ahwatukee.
Yeah, the smell is so rancid, it's making some people sick, and they've been calling us to help, trying to figure out where this stench is coming from. Is gluten-free the way to be, or are you gluten for punishment? See what I did there? I said gluten instead of glutton. Okay, anyway. And even number 2 here, the Honest Kitchen Perfect Form Herbal Supplement. It sounds like that would be safe, right? Well, apparently it's not. So the takeaway here is to do your research. And there they go, arresting them, hands behind their back, and they are now taken into custody. And happy to say, without anyone getting hurt in a situation that easily could have ended terribly. Yeah. Things are looking a little too peachy at Schnepp's Farms right now, and apparently that is not a good thing. Today marks 82 days without any real rain. I'm going to say that the answer for you would be no.
I wanted to be Sebastian, actually.
Yeah, of course you did. Yeah, you are a crab already. Just kidding. Oh, yes. Thank you for your laughing, Amber.
Back to you.
Yeah, they've got a strategy, it sounds like. And diamonds, I might actually camp out for that. Melissa, thank you. We've seen pictures where the flames have literally been on the side of the highway as cars are driving by. I mean, it is intense and really incredible. We are continuing to follow these pictures again out of California as wildfires force thousands to flee their homes, authorities going door to door doing mandatory evacuations. But this is really especially concerning because you can see there at the bottom of your screen, people are attempting to drive through this. Very dangerous. 2 feet of water is strong enough to push your car off the road.
Powerful,
It's unbelievable. Look at the shopping cart there going, people driving, the trees blowing in the wind, the rain pummeling down. There's that boat again. Incredible video of this storm out there today. Unbelievable what we saw here. I know some parts of the valley got almost 2 inches of rain in just an hour. I mean, that's almost unheard of here in the valley. But during the monsoon, anything can happen. Right now, this is flooding at the US 60 in Mill, Steve. And we want to show you a Walmart parking lot. This looks like a lake. Water as far as the eye can see. Some trees are down because of the really strong wind gusts that we've been seeing in this area.
Chris Grau.
Yeah, he's at 68th Street in Indian School, and I know one of the biggest threats that came along with this storm were those high winds, and they caused a lot of damage around the valley. Chris, what are you seeing out there? We just got an update from ADOT who tells us pumps are working. We just got so much rain in such a short amount of time. This is what is causing the flooding there on the road. Amber showed you a little bit earlier in parts of the valley. We got nearly 2 inches of rain in just an hour. It was absolutely incredible.
Well, I got to be honest with you, this could be a stark reality that we are facing tonight with hundreds of thousands of ballots that might not be counted. It's shocking. So I invited Robert Graham to come talk to us. He's the chairman of the Republican Party here in Arizona. But first, before we get to the ballots, I wanted to talk about Ohio being called apparently for Donald Trump. That's a big deal. We're talking about 168 electoral votes. Secretary of State Michelle Reagan just took the stage moments ago and said that she believes it is likely that Trump will win Arizona. Secretary of State, of course, in charge of our elections here in Arizona. However, those results are not official yet. So seconds ago, I asked her when she walked by, I said, when will these results be official? And she said it could be days because of the outstanding ballots that have not been counted in Maricopa County. As long as there is a 5-point difference between Trump and Clinton, they will be able to call this race even with the hundreds of thousands of early ballots still uncounted. So as you can imagine, the crowd here very loud, very happy, very boisterous, and Kim Tobin has been in the middle of it all as all of those big moments have been happening as we've been seeing state by state, the states being called for Trump, a Trump win. I know a lot of the talk has been about Sheriff Joe Arpaio and the fact that he was not elected to a seventh term. We do know that people here are disappointed by the news, but honestly, there hasn't been much chatter about it. All eyes have been focused on that big board behind me and the possibility of a Trump presidency.
ABC 15 News at 6 brings you the people and places that make our state awesome. Let's go places in Arizona.
Mondays on ABC 15 News at 6.
There's a reason they call Jerome one of the largest ghost towns in America. Could you handle a night in one of their haunted hotels? My guess is when you think of Arizona, you probably don't think of volcanoes. Of course, it's dormant now, which is a good thing because we're here, and also because there are so many people who can't wait to get a closer look. It's kind of hard to believe, but over 700 years ago, this canyon right here was teeming with life. I'm talking about human life. Welcome to Red Rock Country. Travelers from around the world come here because there's a belief that this city is a hub for vortexes. About 2 miles east of the I-17 sits this beautiful oasis. So we're in the Verde Valley right now. It's a hot spot for wineries. In fact, the soil and the climate here match up to some of the greatest wineries in the world. Well, it's really easy to see why. People from across the world come here to embrace the legend as well as the mystery of the Lost Dutchman gold mine. People have been leading treks into the superstition since as early as 1932, all to find this lost mine, but so far, no one's found it yet. Take a drive for the perfect piece of pie. Experience the wild, wild west. This is the last surviving stagecoach town in Arizona, and it happens to be right in our own backyard. It's so hard to believe, but less than an hour from Phoenix is this, the unspoiled beauty of Canyon Lake. So whether you're taking a scenic drive on the Apache Trail or just need a quick getaway with the kids, Tortilla Flat will always be here.
Right now on ABC 15 Arizona at 10.
Hoisted to safety by our heroes. They walk us through new video. But first, tonight's top story. Kidnapped here, found there. The terrifying ride in between.
And we have new information on that 94-year-old woman recovering tonight from a bizarre and heartless crime.
Yeah, somebody stuffed her in the trunk of her own car, and she was actually trapped for hours. ABC 15's Jason Valentine live tonight at Scottsdale Fashion Square, where that woman was eventually found and escaped. Jason, do police have a suspect in all of this? Jason, thank you. New developments tonight showing we're not the only ones taking action for a woman ridiculed by the nurses paid to protect her. We're learning 3 people have now now been fired for this social media video we showed you last night. The nurses at Glencroft Senior Living filming and laughing while the woman cried out for help. Lexi, thank you. It is election night here in Arizona and specifically in the Valley. The major races are for school district budgets with more than 20 proposals to add money for local schools. And as of right now, every single one is passing. Now keep in mind, the results are not official just yet. Of course, across the country, 3 big races in the national spotlight because they're considered the first large-scale opportunity to respond to the 2016 election. Right now, we know Democrats are taking over as governor in New Jersey and Virginia. And in Maine, voters decided to expand Medicaid for as many as 80,000 people, which is seen as a boost in support for Obamacare. The latest right now on the tragedy in Texas. The FBI has the killer's phone, but they haven't been able to unlock it. We've also learned that he escaped a mental health facility 5 years ago. The consumer alert tonight, if you're thinking about selling an old desktop or laptop or maybe just planning to throw it away, you want to be extra sure to wipe it clean before you do. Here's the deal. This is fascinating, by the way. Our sister station hired a tech expert and purchased 4 old computers for sale. Each person thought they had erased all of the information, but in 3 of the cases, this tech guy was able to find everything on the hard drive. Trust your gut. Follow your instincts. We hear that all of the time, but how exactly does that intuition work, and should you really trust it?
The least fat state in the country, Colorado.
All right, this probably wouldn't help that list, but it is eye-catching for sure, and a dream come true. Hidden Valley selling mini kegs of their ranch dressing. Amazing, right? It holds the equivalent of 20 standard bottles. They will be available in December for $50 for that person on your list who just has everything, but they don't have a mini keg of ranch.
How do you store that?
Steve?
What would you do with that?
There are a lot of things you can do with that.
Yes.
Hey, if you prefer the typical alcohol to come out of your kegs, our Smart Shopper team wants you to know tomorrow, Fry's is kicking off a 5-day liquor and wine sale with prices 30% off.
It's amazing.
There's an undefeated team on that list too that is ranked below the teams that have
true.
one loss.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Never
even
guess what
miss
that
that.
is.
Party of one?
Would that be?
Yeah. My alma mater. Yeah.